your children, it's a commitment we make to come together, whether it's male or female. Actually, in Europe and all, they are not even getting married, they are saying. The culture is digressing so that you make a commitment to raise your kids, whether it's a male, female, it doesn't matter. And it does take sacrifice. So one of the things I'm seeing in many couples, the minute they get separated, they are so bent on their satisfaction. They get a new boyfriend, girlfriend. The whole children is like put away, right? Like the children necessarily has no childhood after that. So they are constantly being shoveled back and forth. And I think when you lose the childhood, that's what recreates that inability to take accountability, and the whole addiction, everything is based on not having a good, solid foundation when they were younger. Because what we learn as a baby lives with us forever. So if you give them a strong foundation for the first 7 years, you can carry them for life.
They say, show me, who said that? Show me a 7-year-old and I'll show you the man.
Yes.
Like, see, boy and I'll show you the man.
Actually, there is even another book called Whatever I Learned About Life, I Learned It in Kindergarten.
Yeah.
Right? Like a 6-year-old, whatever was taught.
On YouTube that was called just that. A guy giving a speech said everything I need to learn about life I learned in kindergarten.
Yeah. See, that's why I'm saying about the Penguin movie. So what I learned was the dedication of the scientists who could make that movie possible. Even if we are given that much money, we wouldn't have gone and lived in Antarctica and taken a 1-year movie, right? You would?
Right about now. I'd have to take 100 sparks.
Yeah, probably.
So the second thing I learned was how much it takes a sacrifice for the animals, right? To reach that place. Like salmon, they say, the reason why salmon is considered very sacred, this is what I learned in my spiritual teachings, is they are the only one that swim up to upstream to go to that like a spring where they were raised as a spawn, because that's the freshest unpolluted water. So the salmon is the only one that goes upstream to meet up. And in India, Ganges is the same way. She comes down from the glacier, comes upstream, goes to a very specific rock, energizes and comes back. That's the only river. That's why it's considered sacred. And then the other thing, so the movie, the other thing that brought me into focus is how much danger is out there. There is leopards, they got leopard seals, and then they are having hawks, which is hunting these babies. And so the male penguin have to hoot a certain way to attract females. And so even in the family, the one that makes the noise is only male, not the female. The female, rears the cubs or whatever it is, like the penguin babies, and but they, for some reason, know how to take turns. And then the third thing is the one of the baby penguin gets caught by a leopard seal, and she knows how to play dead. And when you play dead, the leopard seal lets you go, and then she survives. So how is that they got those wisdom? And that's what fascinated me. So yesterday was very healing for me, because I think we can learn a lot from nature and animals, and the way we are even not even paying attention to anything outside of our, we are really in a slumber, seriously, I don't even know whether I ever even put 2 and 2 together. Suddenly, I was looking and I'm saying, oh my God, was it always here? It just surprises me, some things catches my attention, and I'm saying, have I ever paid attention to this before? Whether it's a plant or whether it's an animal or a creature, or even my garden, miniature garden. So I feel by slowing down, that's one of the things I am learning with my husband too, because we will fight and stuff. And I feel we fight not because, and actually I explained to you, this is my last speech, and afterwards I'll give you guys the opening and you guys share. So I heard this song, she's a sunflower, she'll never be too much. Have you heard that one? So the way I hear the song is different. Okay, it's a Post Malone. What he sings, this is the way I heard, and I'll tell you the lyrics. I don't know. Do you guys? I don't know whether you pick up the lyrics, but he says, "Calling me Krishna, baby, I am Rick," because I am from Indian culture, so that's the way I heard it. Come to find out, and is that what you're hearing?
I don't really know the song. I know the.
Do you know the song?
Yeah, I know the song.
Do you hear it that way? No. Okay. Because me and my husband, we fight because English is my third language. And I'm telling him this is the way I hear. And they refuted it. My son, who's in music, he says that's not what he's singing. So I played it to them. And I actually will, play it to you as well. And tell me what you hear, because that is where the conflict was. The conflict was not that I misunderstood him or something. I hear English different than you guys. And even now, it's not like, I have grown and I'm wiser. Okay. And it's a 2-minute long. And I'm going to play this. Have you heard this one?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Post Malone.
I know the guy.
I know the song.
Okay. 1 minute I'll play. So what did you hear? Did you hear calling me Krishna, baby, I'm Rick? Did you hear that? What did you hear?
At my place?
No. When he said calling me Krishna, baby, I'm Rick. That's what. So I'm gonna play it again, and you tell me what you hear.
Calling it quits now, baby, I'm a rat.
So that's what you hear, right?
Calling it quits now, baby, I'm a
That
rat.
you are right. But I heard it calling me Krishna, baby, I'm Rick. And can you imagine, for 22 years, I'm fighting a husband who hears like her, and I am hearing something else.
Yeah.
So do you understand the problem?
No,
The problem is not that we don't understand each other. The problem is my husband is American and he doesn't understand. I hear differently when he talks. The first time, right? See that beach glass, the jar? The first time we met, we went on a date together. 1 minute.
I just want to tell you, I want you to know I'm here, but
Yeah,
I,
1 minute.
we have
1 minute.
tickets. I can't. I'm in. I think it's for show. I waited an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay.
All right. I'll call you in a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
thanks.
fine. Yeah, thank you. So what I want to tell you guys is, when we fight, not necessarily because we disagree, we fight because we don't hear each other. And when you are in that space, there's no healing that relationship. You understand? So that's where I am at this week. Like, am I really fighting for a cause, or I'm confusing a guy by giving a confused opinion and I'm having a disagreement about that confusion?
Yeah.
Right? When I understood it that way, it shocked me. But my husband, when I brought it up to him, he says he has no interest in learning my culture and no interest. So either I can keep my mouth shut. You know what he says? Initially in my relationship, this is what he used to say: I want your pie hole shut. And that's how he used to say that, because he was so frustrated with me. So he never, but whereas I have to make money, he says, you have to make money. So I'll take my kids to Disneyland. So you pay for it. So I would have to work here while he take my kids, or with the AA sponsor. The reason I'm bringing it up is I think he knows what's not right.
Mm-hmm.
And when my stepdaughter came, he told me I'm not allowed to touch his soap and stuff. And she was allowed to use his shampoo and stuff. And I was not. That's when I understood, even though he chooses not to understand me, even though he chooses not to understand my culture, even by American standards, he was not treating me right. So that's when I decided, okay, you know what? I don't care whether he's right or wrong. If by chance a person is capable of saying something and you cry and they don't take accountability, he says, according to his AA, he has no power to hurt me. And I said, that's right. You have no power to hurt me. But when I say that I am in pain, if you don't bother to listen to me, then there is a problem. And that became my limbic therapy. See, like all these people, right? They are so bent out of shape about making money and stuff. It's not about the medication. It's not about the time. It's if you are not interested in being heard, just I'll keep popping pills.
Yeah.
But that's not the problem. The problem is if you do not bring yourself to that 0 point every week you meet with me, you're going to again carry that confusion for 7 more days. You want that? No, you don't need to agree with me. But what I'm saying is time can stretch and stand still, okay? Because sometimes we are in traffic. There is nothing you can do. But if you bring that space of 0, you can handle all the crap the world is going to give it out to you. And sometimes it's worth it. Like, we spend like in Disneyland 3 hours to go on a ride. So it all depends on, are you valuing your time here? If not, it's just a pill pushing. So you can either waste your time or my time, but in the long run, in Zen Buddhism, they say it takes 500 years of prayer and meditation for 2 people to come together. People take a long time to give that space to each other. And I feel that's where I'm at this week. It's not about whether I was giving you 5 minutes or no time. If you just want to pop in and look at me and say, hey, can you send my pill over? That's fine. But I'm so honored you guys are willing to stay with me. And this is going to be my theme this week, because time can stretch and bend. Time is immaterial. I actually was delaying one of my spiritual practice in New York. They asked me to come. I refused. When I came back, I was in New York traffic jam for 8 hours in George Washington Bridge. But I was told it's because I delayed most sacred person. I have to pay back in time. And I feel a lot of time, that's what we pray for, always takes his own action, in some ways. So that being said, I wanted to see whether you guys wanted to share anything.
I want to get out of here, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm good.
I didn't take any medicine yesterday because I missed Tuesday, so I'm not bad, but I get just a little anxiety when I don't. I haven't taken my dose today. I'm not like sick.
Okay.
I'm a little anxious.
So you're very anxious.
Anxious.
Okay.
I haven't been smoking.
So what I am saying is this is my theme. So think about it and journal it. And would you bring it to me next week?
Would you want me to write something?
No. See, like what I want, the essence of what I spoke today is about what is it we are hearing from each other, right? So sometimes we are hurt, not necessarily because they said the wrong thing, because we didn't understand them.
No,
instead of trying to listen. So what I'm saying is journal that and say, where is it that we need to listen better? And who is it that creates the most stress for us? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So who is the most stressful for you?
So,
God.
But you are God. You can change your life. So what is it that about you want to change? Because God is no separate from us.
I don't know yet.
Okay, this is going